plaintiff, Cynthia Lomax, is the mother of 4, and the defendant is her daughter. Cynthia claims she co-signed on an apartment for the defendant because she wanted to help her grandchildren. But the defendant was evicted, and Cynthia was ultimately sued. So she's suing to get her money back. Defendant Patrice Chandler says she loves her mom, but she's overly dramatic. Patrice admits that her mother co-signed on an apartment for her and her ex, but insists the agreement to pay rent was between her mother and her ex, and therefore she doesn't owe.
All right, start with you.
Well, Your Honor, I'm a 53-year-old mother of 4 and a grandmother, and I have a diet now of oodles and noodles, hot dogs, and I would like to say collard greens, but I can't afford them. My daughter had asked me to co-sign for her an apartment. And in my mind, I'm thinking I'm helping my grandchildren. So I said, okay. And
how many grandchildren and how old?
They're twin boys, Derek and Darren.
Okay.
They're 12-year-olds.
12?
Yes, sir.
Right.
And so at that point...
Is that one of them right there? He looks kind of old for a 12-year-old.
Yeah, he doesn't quite look that young.
No, sir, that's my husband.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
That's my husband. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
And so on September of 2009, my daughter, I had co-signed for her the apartment. And about 2011 in September, a knock came at my door. Boom, 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 boom. I said, who is it? They said, ma'am, Sheriff Department. I looked at my husband, I said, it's for you.
That's right.
I don't have a criminal, I don't have a record.
You're not engaged in criminal activity.
No, sir.
So it must be him.
It's him. So when he opened the door, they said to me, Cynthia Lomax? I was like, yes, sir. So because I watched CSI in 48 hours, I assumed the position. Praise the Lord. So I found out I was being sued. And
they were serving you.
Yes, sir. They served me, and I had to go to court, and that's when I found out that I was being sued by the complex.
What months? Well, you have the judgment there, I guess.
Yes, sir, I have all my court papers.
Matter which months, as long as it's a judgment for that apartment complex or management company. Ma'am?
Yes, sir.
You want to give me some background on some of this and perhaps a background on your relationship with your mom?
Sure. Your Honor, let me first say I love my mom to death, but she is so dramatic. If it was one officer who knocked on her door, in her head, it was the SWAT team. But I don't know, I like oodles and noodles. She fed them to me. However, she did not have, I took her out several times. Hold
on, you're saying you like oodles and noodles.
I don't like oodles and noodles.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we pay her and you eat them?
I love him.
You like them so much, but go ahead. And so now we have that fact established.
Amen.
You like oodles and noodles. Go ahead.
However, I did go to my mom and ask her to co-sign for an apartment, but at that time...
Why? What's wrong with your credit?
I wasn't working at the time, and my
So how you gonna pay?
I was married.
What would happen if she wasn't here? You sleep on the floor?
No,
Or
sir.
in the car? Where would you sleep? What would happen if your mother wasn't there?
Well, we were staying with his mom at the time, so I guess we would have stayed there.
Oh.
However, I kicked him out the house, and I wasn't working at the time.
Should have got your rent first, man. Go ahead.
That's good.
You weren't working at the time, and what happened?
Yes, sir. So I tried to gain employment of the time we were in the apartment before we got evicted. However, I was unable to, and we got evicted, and they sued my mother.
And how long between the time the eviction occurred and the time you all moved?
We moved in the apartment in May of 2009, and he left like April 2010. I was actually evicted August, September 2010.
All right, and you paid up until when?
When he left, April 2000.
April of 2010.
Yes, sir.
Did you talk with your mother and try and work out a plan? Payment
I did not.
plan? Why?
I was afraid to.
Why?
Because my
Thought she
mom
would
is
give you
just
a
not the
whipping?
easiest person. I don't think she would have gave me a whipping.
Why
but
were you afraid to tell your mother that I can't pay the rent, therefore it's going to hurt your credit? Why were you afraid to do that?
my mom she isn't the easiest person
What
to
would have
talk to.
happened? What would have happened had you told your mother that, Mom, you know I don't work. I don't have any money to pay this rent. Mom, can you help me? Or how can we work this out? And what do you think would have happened?
She would have got dramatic. She would have told me to figure out a way to pay the rent.
Your Honor?
Okay, hold on.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to see how trifling she is toward her mama. Go ahead.
I'm not trifling towards my
Yes,
mother.
you are. If you don't
I'm
even
not at
mention
all.
to your mother, Mama, I'm about to ruin your credit by not paying. And then you're not going to be able to move in to your next apartment or home or get a new car. Didn't do that. Mama, she's going to create some drama and she's going to tell me I got to pay. Yeah, she's telling you today you got to pay whether you know it or not.
Well, the agreement wasn't
It's called
with me.
lawsuit. Pardon?
The agreement wasn't with me. I wasn't employed at the time.
It's what
but-
your husband know.
Exactly.
Yeah, but are you divorced? I'm sorry. Give me your divorce papers. Why are you grinning?
I didn't bring them.
Okay. Are you divorced?
No, sir.
So then how can you bring something that you don't have? What's wrong with you? Is something wrong with you? The way you treat your mother and then talk slick to me?
I'm not talking slick to you.
You did. You said you don't have them. That means you...
We're separated,
you say
but
you
I have
don't
no
bring them.
divorce
That means
papers.
you can't bring something that you don't have.
I have separation papers.
I said divorce. Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, you're still liable. Joint liability for necessary expenses. And this was a necessary expense, living in the apartment. You got that little silly grin on your face. Is something wrong with it?
Sir, I've been trying to figure that out for a while now. This came after the marriage.
All right. Oh, okay, that's what it is. All right, and your only defense is it was your husband, therefore you should never owe. And I don't have to even talk to my mother about the debt. Don't even tell her, Mama, your credit might be ruined. We got to work something out, Mama. You pay and I'll pay you when I get out or when I get a job. Can we give the landlord 3 months notice or let him know that I can't afford and we can work it out, Mama? Nothing. Yes, ma'am, that's her problem. Nah, let's just see what happened. Well, today, it's your problem. $3,391 for an unpaid judgment. You know not to put a thing in her name anymore. Good luck to you, ma'am. Have a good day.
Steak and potatoes, baby. Steak and potatoes. Oh, I still love my daughter. This is not personal. This is business.
Wonderful. She's still my mom.
Okay, here we go. And I love Judge Mathis. Thank you, Judge. Thank you.